You're watching ITG Clips.
We like to rip on Pro Football Focus when it suits our argument. We like to use Pro Football Focus in our favor when it suits our argument. And we're going to do that this time because they have ranked Wyatt Milam the 18th best player in all of college football last season. Yes, that's top 20, number 18 overall, 0 sacks allowed, 0 QB hits allowed. The top 101 players in all of college football, Pro Football Focus, pardon me, I'm so excited I can hardly get it out, has ranked Wyatt Milam as the 18th best player in all of college ball last season. Pretty stinking cool. Listen, because again, Jed, like, whatever you think of Pro Football Focus, great, hate it, somewhere in the middle. We know that they grind the tape and do a ton of research and a ton of analytics and a ton of study. For one of our guys to be that high on the list, I think that speaks to the type of year he had, and I think the type of hype that he's about to start getting here real soon as we approach the combine and the NFL draft.
Yeah, and you based on who you talk to or what you might hear, you hear rumors, and what are those worth this time of year? It's the season of disinformation, right? Leading up to the draft, we always talk about there's more disinformation than there is information, but rumors ranging from sometime after the middle of round 1 to round 3. It's very difficult to say. It's difficult to forecast. He has the Senior Bowl behind him, but the Senior Bowl and what played out there kind of solidified what we'd already discussed previously on the show. What's obvious is he's going to be moving down inside. He's not going to be playing tackle. Now, that's not to say he can't be an emergency tackle, but his wingspan could hurt him at the tackle position. But he doesn't project as a tackle in the NFL. He projects optimally as either a guard or maybe even a center. And that's where he got his reps at the Senior Bowl. So it's nice to see him start repping that out with more consistency, and he's going to get some more opportunities. You'll see some of that when you're out there at the combine in Indy. I'm sure that's what he'll be doing, is playing some guard, playing some center, snapping the football, taking a step and seeing what he can do in pass pro. So those opportunities are going to come, but it's going to be interesting to see what kind of momentum he might be able to gain from this point moving forward to increase his stock and see what might happen in terms of where, in fact, he does go. I mean, it was difficult to project Zach last year because of the injury. You couldn't really read too much into that injury. You didn't know what was going to play out or unfold. People thought right away that was a calamitous injury. It was going to knock him to the 3rd or 4th round. Well, we knew better than that. It's not to say you knew he was going to climb as high as he did, but same thing here. There's a lot of unknowns, but certainly hope for the best. Somebody's going to get a football player in Wyatt Milam, and I truly feel Wyatt Milam's the kind of kid with the kind of work ethic and the kind of character and what he's all about. He's going to be playing at the next level for a long time for somebody. And he has the versatility to settle down on the inside somewhere, but also be kind of a swingman at multiple spots. And that has to be appealing to personnel folks as well.
No, it absolutely is. I think of this all the time when I first moved from Philly back here to Pittsburgh, where I was born and raised, and from the Eagles to the Steelers. I had a longtime NFL scout tell me that more so than any other position group, teams are always looking to get better on the offensive line. Go ask whatever offensive line you think is the best in the NFL. Go ask their offensive line coach, would you like to get better? Would you like to add? And he'll still say yes, because it's just the nature of the position. Very rarely are you satisfied with all 5 guys. You're always looking to upgrade here or there. And, with that, I think we've seen some of these guys with the Wyatt Milam skill sets. I think of like a Graham Barton from Duke last year. I think of like a Troy Fautanu who from last year. Both of those guys ended up being first-round picks. Both played tackle in college. Graham Barton ended up moving inside. Troy Fautanu, in his brief stint before he got hurt, was still playing on the outside, but there was a lot of talk about how he could be a dominant guard if they decide to move him from tackle to guard. So the tackle that can still stand on an island by the Joe Alts of the world, right? They're always going to go in the top 10 of they're always going to go in the top 10 of the draft. But I think even for that second wave of guys who might be a little more tweener, there might not be the certainty like a Wyatt. It's still got a great chance to go in the first round. It might not be a top 10 or a top 15 pick, but still has a great chance to be a back half of the first round pick or an early second round pick. And to have 2 straight years of that for the program would obviously be huge. 2 straight years of it being guys from West Virginia, which would be huge. So very excited for Wyatt as this thing plays out.
A lot of coaches feel the transition moving from the outside down is a little easier in some ways than moving from the inside out.
No doubt.
To put yourself in that kind of space on that island to play that tackle spot. Now, that might take on a different dynamic if you're moving down to center, because that's just also a much different skill set. A lot more things are asked of you. But if you're moving down from tackle to guard, anywhere on the O-line is a game of leverage, of course, but it becomes a game even more of leverage on the interior when you're a guard. Strength is, in strange ways, going to matter even more. Bulk is going to matter more. So, but it's nice to be able to look at the numbers we just talked about. 0 sacks and 0 quarterback hits allowed. And they're talking about him as a guard. Well, he's played on the edge, oftentimes without an attached tight end. As a matter of fact, most of the time without an attached tight end to that side, against some very talented Big 12 pass rushers, against Penn State. And they're talking about maybe one of their pass rushers potentially being the number 1 overall pick. So he's played against very high-level competition from an edge rusher standpoint, holding his own at the tackle spot. And he has that resume and that portfolio to draw from as they're talking about, hey, can you maybe move down and help pass pro inside as well? We've seen what you can do on the outside. So the hard part's kind of behind you. Now can you transition down and play this style of football? So I'm really excited for Wyatt.
I am as well, too. And obviously we'll hope to have some Wyatt-centric episodes as we get closer to the end of the month. The Combine just found out. I'll be heading to Indianapolis Monday, February 28th. No, sorry, that's a Friday. Monday, February 25th, pardon me, which transitions nicely, Jed, because that also happens to be, you see that? I had the transition in my mind, but I completely botched it and went with February 28th, which is my birthday, which is the Friday at the end of the week. Your parents' anniversary, February. Listen, all the cool kids are born in February. All the big things happen in February, including February 25th, not just the day that I'll be reporting to Indianapolis for the Combine, but also the day that Rich Rodriguez and the WVU Mountaineers will be beginning spring ball, starting spring practice.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to ITG Clips and In the Gun podcast for more WVU football content. Watch the whole podcast episode by clicking the link above or in the description.